Good afternoon, friends. Today is Monday, Memorial Day, May 26, 2025, and I thought I would just take you on a quick tour of the garden. We have had a tremendous amount of rain and humidity the last couple of weeks. It's been a rainy spring in general, which in some ways has been good. In other ways, seems to have slowed down some of the blooming, but nonetheless, we're going to tour and take a look at what's going on. And I don't want to complain about the rain because a month from now we'll probably be in a drought and I'll be wishing that we had one. So we've not really done a whole lot on this side, but I just want to take you through quickly. Everything's continuing to grow and leaf out. So I'm very excited about the fact that my Bobo hydrangeas will probably be blooming maybe by the next time that we have a video. I got these at Pike's Nursery in Woodstock, Georgia, and they definitely are very happy right now. They're very lush, and I hope that they will stay that way. When I got them last year, they were very full and robust, and then I did trim them back because these do bloom on new wood, but they struggled later in the summer, and it could have just been too hot, even though it's shady here. It does get afternoon sun, so anyway, we'll see. But everything is looking pretty good. I do need to check on my cedar here because I see a couple little limbs. There's a little bit of dieback, but I don't think anything terrible. I know some of that is normal, but yeah, I like to monitor for too much or not enough water. But you can see these are really exploded since we last saw you. I have gotten another green elderberry bush, but I haven't decided where to plant it, although I probably should do that soon. But there's the other one right there, and it's really taken off this year. And my banana Elysium's taken off. The coleus that I planted around these shrubs that were kind of struggling has really gone crazy. I believe this coleus, and all my coleus came from Garden Crossings. I believe this is dipped in wine. I will definitely get this one next year. I like this one too, but I really like this one. Got again a little bit of color peeping back there. We still have not planted the Vanderwolf pine, but I think we are going to try and do so pretty quickly, just because the root ball is pretty loose, and I have seen a little bit of interior die back, but again, I think it's holding its own. But before it gets any warmer, so we're going to be doing that hopefully within the next 7 days. I did get the supplies I needed to plant it, so we'll be doing that hopefully soon. Again, another Bobo hydrangea here. Smoke bush with a mushroom in the back that I need to get out. Again, the Colorado blue spruce continues to do well. I can't remember if this Camilla had been potted when we videoed last, but there it is. And hopefully a year from now, it will be magnificent. Cedar, Snow Sprite. Snow Sprite cedar is putting on a ton of growth. Another thing I'm going to do this week, I have identified what will make a good leader on this, so I'm going to train up the leader. And again, just, everything's looking great. Love my Japanese maple. This is just such a difference from last year, because this time last year, all of that brush over there was had just taken over this, and we did pay someone to come clear this out and behind the house because the woods were overtaking my home, which is another story for another day. But anyway, here we are. We still need to freshen up all the mulch. We have not done anything since we did that, but we need to do that. But by the time we probably get around to doing all this, the leaves will start falling. But we've been busy planting. I was gifted these begonias from one of my neighbors who had bought too many at a local nursery, and they seem to like this spot. I've also planted red-headed coleus with that. We have autumn fuchsia here, which seems to be growing, so hopefully it's going to put on a show. I know autumn fuchsia or fuchsia in general, apparently can be temperamental in the south, and this is the first time I've tried to grow it, so we'll see. I have different varieties of Joe Pye weed in this planter. I can't remember if we had done this the last time I made a video, but it's coming along. And there were 3. I think I maybe we just planted it, because I remember talking about some of the plants from Prairie Moon Nursery. I was not pleased with the quality. They have survived, so I'm very thankful for that. So those are coming along. I've also sprinkled in some partial shade wildflower seed mix from Vermont Wildflower Company. So we'll see if that takes. You know, sometimes you never know. That can be hit or miss. Sometimes I have great success with wildflower seeds, and sometimes I don't. But my favorite, for sure, I really love Vermont Wildflower Company and then High Country Gardens mix. Forgive Munstead Wood. I've got to get out her and deadhead her in the next day or two. Obviously, I have not done that, but we've had a lot of rain. It's just not been conducive. I moved another Munstead Wood here, and again, forgive our mess. We're saving up some cardboard for the next project, but we ended up using what we had for another bed that I'll show you in a minute. And then again, I need to weed and deadhead here. It's funny how you can have things tidied up and within just a few days it gets away from you. I know I puzzled about this my last 2 videos. Indeed, the bee balm did come back. I'm not mad about it. I just, sort of crowding out my blue boa hummingbird mint, which I'll show you some more that I have. But again, it's very pretty. So, this continues to, bud out. This is a very reliable David Austin, so it's continuing to do well. Again, we've got to mulch and kind of backfill this with straw, so it would pardon our progress. But this is another new little project I think we've completed since last planting. It was looking a little questionable the first couple of days, but I think they've gotten over their transplant shock. And again, if we can just get some sun, then I think we'll see a big difference in the next month here. These are just different varieties of aster, as well as coleus, and all these came from Select Seeds. And you can see everything is looking very lush. Cranres, butterfly bush, which I got at Lowe's, that is coming along. It has settled in and putting on new growth and new buds. I have 2 large Miss Molly butterfly bushes that are established. These are coming along quite nicely with their bloom. There were butterflies out here yesterday. There's a little bee on there, so that's nice. And then we had some beard tongue I've underplanted there because they don't like to have their feet wet, that particular variety, so I put them together. My rockin' fuchsia salvia is going wild, and I love what I got, from them last year from Garden Crossings, which is for sure my favorite place to order from. Thanks to Heidi and all the team there. But the specimens I got this year, I don't know if it's because I reserved them early in December or what, but I do not remember them being this robust last year. They are just, all of them, I ordered 13, I think. They are phenomenal. I believe this is Honeybell's Cufia, also from Garden Crossings, and it's coming along. Probably would be a little bit more if I had actually fertilized stuff, but again, it's just rained so much. So that's something else I'm hoping to do in the next 10 days is anything that's an annual or a perennial that needs a little extra boost. Annuals obviously need a boost every couple of weeks, but any perennials that I feel like might also need a boost, I'll give that to them too. So most perennials, I don't do the liquid fertilizer, but I do have some that I've done in the past and it seems to work. So if it's not broke, don't fix it, keep doing it. But everything's just very lush. I have a limelight hydrangea there getting ready to bloom. We've planted some more coleus. These are the Bee's Knees petunias. They were on sale, 3 for $12 at Home Depot a week ago. So I stocked up. And you can see we've redone this. I feel like every time I make a video, I've rearranged something a little bit in some part of the garden. And I'm okay with that. I think, especially if you do container gardening, that's one advantage. You know, if you feel like, oh, I need to make some adjustments, then you do that. And it usually works out for the best. But everything's looking really pretty here. My Pugster Pinker butterfly bush is getting ready to bloom. The Queen Nectarine hummingbird mint is going wild. All of this thick Blue Fortune hummingbird mint is about to bloom, and it'll bloom pretty much until mid to late July, and then I cut it back, and I usually get one more flush. Not as vigorous, but I usually get one more nice flush that'll bloom up until the first, you know, really hard freeze, sometimes even through the first hard freeze. I do think this year I may try to cut it back a little bit earlier in the summer and see if I can get, you know, just a little bit more robust show with its second flush in the summer. But no complaints. Blue Fortune, you can, at least here, I can grow it anywhere. Even though it says it's full sun, it can take some shade here, probably because it's just so ridiculous hot. This is another area of big change here. So I did have a David Austin rose. I think it was Teasing Georgia. No, it might have been a Lady of Shalott. I don't know. It did great initially. And that's typically how it does. It'll do really well in the spring. I might get one more good flush in the summer, but it was getting really black spotty here. I think partly because I cut it back in the spring and it got way bigger than it normally does. And again, we've just had so much rain, and I felt like it might benefit from a sunnier spot so it has a little more room and not have underplantings, which that's going to be another thing moving forward. I know I see people underplant things with their roses. I'm not somebody who can really do that successfully. I've tried it, and it just has not really worked out great for me. So, you know, maybe in the spring it's okay for a month, and then after that it's just a mess. So we did take it out of the pot. It was very difficult to get out. We didn't realize how entrenched it was. But anyway, I do have some Black-Eyed Susans that are coming back that I'd grown from wildflower seed. And then I've got some new Autumn Sun Rudbeckias that those will get pretty big too. So I also planted some seed that I, again, got from Vermont Wildflower Company. Some more varieties of Black-Eyed Susan, Rudbeckia. So I think I did 3 varieties. So we'll see if they germinate. We've got a ton of rain, but I do think I see just the hint of maybe a tiny seedling. I'll know in a week if it, you know, so if it's going to germinate. Typically for me, even this, I mean, which this is the end of May, but they don't always bloom for me the first year, so they have to overwinter, and then they put on a show, so we'll see. I was honestly surprised. This is the 3rd year for these that are coming up, that these seem to have come back. Their roots are shallow, but they've come back, so we'll see what they do. Mainly because, like, I've dug around in that hole, so you think that would disturb them. I also got another salvia of the black and, I forget what it's called. It's a black and blue, but it's not, I forget what variety. Anyway, it was in pretty rough shape at Home Depot, but I think it's starting to recover now, so hopefully it will be super magnificent when you see it again in a few weeks. I have to say, this Roman red salvia from Burpee, my goodness, this thing has gone wild. But, you know, I've been surprised. I've not really seen the hummingbirds in this one. They definitely have been in the rock and pink. But I've not really seen them here. But, again, we're just now starting to get into the heart of our hummingbird season. You know, the mothers are nesting about this time. So activity should start picking up in a few weeks. Again, the beautiful coleus, my cheap creeping Jenny that I also got on sale at Home Depot, the potato vine. All my coleus, by the way, here are from Garden Crossings that you see. And again, I'm totally in love. I don't think these will overwinter here, but, you know, we'll see. but they are gorgeous. I definitely would like to do more of that next year. Some more rockin' pink fuchsia salvia. Again, it didn't overwinter for me this year, but you know, we never know. It's just stunning. My Mexican sage that I got from Native Hill Nurseries in Texas is coming off, and I think this is also a type of Cufia. I can't remember. No, it's not a Cufia, but it's something similar to like Vermilion Cufia, but I forget. I have to check my order. But anyway, you know, just things are coming right along. My petunias are a little bit beat up because we had pretty heavy rain last night, but once the sun comes out, they dry out and perk up. The sunflower, this is part of the Suncredible series, and this is the first year I've done this variety. I will definitely do this variety again next year. Again, Garden Crossings, they'll set you up. And the Rockin' Blue Salvia, this did not do worth a flip for me last year. It was very, I don't know, it just did not do well. But this, again, is super robust, just like the Rockin' Pink. So I am definitely in love. And then my Tango Hummingbird Mint seems to have made it, and the Blue Fortune. And then, of course, my Weeping Cedar here. So it's still putting on new growth. All right, well, we'll stop here, and we'll do part 2 of the tour. But I hope that you're enjoying seeing the lushness. Again, I still have not mulched. I wanted to kind of define this a little bit better with just a little bit of pine straw, but hopefully at some point before the end of the summer we'll get around to it. If not, you know, there's next year, right? Which, in a way, I'm kind of glad we haven't, because, you know, I have been moving some things around. So it's kind of worked out maybe that I didn't. But anyway, just kind of step back and let you take in the beauty. So, you know, if you have rocky terrain, compacted Georgia clay, and digging is kind of a challenge for you for whatever reason, you can have beautiful container gardens. Again, I'm just very pleased. And again, I'm really glad that I've done, you know, so many conifers, shrubs, the coleus. Next year, I do want to pop in maybe some more coleus here, or if I find some on sale, you know, locally, I might pop a little bit more in somewhere here. But anyway, very lush. So. And I'm not going to take you to the porch, but some wildflowers that I planted last year are doing well. I've got some Blue Fortune there. The roses got pretty beat up in our most recent storm, but they're both very hardy, and those will reload no problem, so I'm not worried about them. And my Miss Molly butterfly bush, the new growth looks great. The old, not so much. I probably should have trimmed it up a little bit. So note to self, make sure I do that. But anyway, I have a second Miss Molly butterfly bush on the deck where my hummingbird feeder is. All right, well, it's looking good. So let's stop talking, and I'll get the next video started for you. Again, thank you for coming on the tour, this first part of the tour today.